Imagine a million rabbits, soft and twitchy-nosed, being moved to a vast, empty desert, not a fairy tale but a real story from China. The Chinese government faced a growing desert, swallowing up good land, threatening farms and cities. Traditional solutions, planting trees, building windbreaks, weren't enough. So, they tried something bold. Could rabbits help fight the desert? Many doubted the plan. Rabbits eat plants, not plant them. Would they help, or just cause new problems? The Kubuki Desert was expanding fast and the situation was urgent. The government launched a massive experiment, sending 1 million rabbits on a mission to bring life back to the sand. This story is about more than rabbits. It's about creativity, hope, and the surprising power of nature. We'll explore what happened before the rabbits arrived, how they were moved, and what unfolded after their release. Did they stop the desert or create a new disaster? Sometimes, the most unusual solutions lead to the most interesting results. Let's journey to the Kubuki Desert and uncover the secret behind China's 1 million rabbit relocation. The adventure begins. Before the rabbits, the Kubuki Desert in Inner Mongolia was a sea of sand, China's 7th largest desert. Relentless winds whipped up dust storms that traveled for miles, blanketing everything in yellow haze. Life was tough rolling dunes, cracked earth, and almost no vegetation. Only a few hardy bushes survived, their roots digging deep for rare water. No trees, little shade, and barely any rain, just endless, shifting sand. The desert was growing, swallowing grasslands and farms, threatening homes and livelihoods. People fought back with tree walls and barriers, but the desert seemed unstoppable. For animals, survival was a struggle. Just a few insects, lizards, and rodents eked out a living. The ecosystem was fragile. Any change could tip the balance. Into this harsh, empty landscape, 1 million rabbits were about to be released. Would they transform the desert, or be lost in the sand? The Kubuki was a blank canvas, waiting for a new story. The stakes were high and the outcome uncertain. The desert's silence was about to be broken. The experiment was set to begin. Moving 1 million rabbits to the desert was a logistical feat. The government sourced hardy rabbits from breeding farms across China, selecting breeds that could handle tough conditions. Special travel cages were designed for comfort and ventilation. Convoys of trucks carried the rabbits across hundreds of miles with teams of veterinarians and handlers ensuring their health. The journey was non-stop. Drivers pushed through day and night to minimize stress. At regular stops, the rabbits were fed, watered, and checked for illness. Cleanliness was crucial to prevent disease among so many animals. After days on the road, the trucks finally arrived at the edge of the Kubuki Desert. The release site was carefully chosen for the best chance of survival. Scientists had already prepared the area, identifying spots with some vegetation and water. The truck doors opened, and the rabbits' new life was about to begin. The Great Migration was over. Now the real experiment would start. Would the rabbits adapt, or would the desert prove too harsh? The next chapter was about to unfold. The release was a spectacle. Cage doors opened, and at first the rabbits hesitated. Then, in a wave, they hopped out, exploring the strange new world. The desert, once silent, was suddenly alive with movement. Instinct took over. The rabbits dug burrows for shelter, creating a network of tunnels within hours. These burrows protected them from the scorching sun and cold nights. Next, they searched for food, nibbling on tough desert shrubs, grasses, and digging for roots. Their constant eating was part of the plan. Clear out unwanted plants, make space for new growth. Not all survived. The desert was still dangerous with predators and harsh conditions. But rabbits breed quickly, and soon the population stabilized and began to grow. The landscape changed. Burrows dotted the sand and the rabbits adapted fast. The desert was no longer empty. It buzzed with new life. The experiment's first phase was a success. The rabbits had survived and even thrived. Now the question was, could they change the land itself? The transformation had only just begun. The Kubuki was no longer silent. The rabbits were here to stay. The rabbits didn't just survive, they transformed the desert. Their digging aerated the soil, breaking up hard sand and letting rare rainfall soak deeper. Burrows mixed nutrients from deeper layers to the surface. Rabbit droppings, rich in nitrogen and phosphorus, acted as natural fertilizer. Over time, millions of rabbits created pockets of fertile soil across the desert. These fertile spots became seedbeds for new plants. By eating tough shrubs, rabbits cleared space for more desirable species. Scientists followed up by planting seeds of grasses and plants that stabilized the soil. The rabbits acted as landscapers, preparing the ground for a new ecosystem. Slowly, patches of green appeared where there was once only sand. The ground became more stable, less prone to wind erosion. The desert's transformation was small at first, but the changes added up. The rabbits were tiny ecological engineers, kickstarting regeneration. What humans struggled to achieve, rabbits did naturally. The Kabuki Desert was beginning to bloom. Nature, with a little help, was fighting back. Why rabbits? China needed a new solution to a growing crisis: desertification. The Kabuki Desert was expanding, threatening farms, cities, and even Beijing with sandstorms. Billions had been spent on tree walls, but progress was slow. Scientists realized the real problem was the soil, too compact, no nutrients, unable to hold water. They needed a biological fix on a massive scale. Rabbits were chosen for their digging, fast breeding, and natural fertilizing abilities. The project was a two-stage experiment. First, rabbits would prepare the land. Then, humans would plant deep-rooted crops like licorice. The goal was a self-sustaining ecosystem that could stop the desert and boost the local economy. This was part of China's broader push for ecological restoration and innovation. The world watched as China tried something bold and unconventional. The rabbits became a symbol of a greener ambition. Could this model work elsewhere? That was the big question. For now, the focus was on saving Kabuki. The Kabuki Desert before the rabbits was a lifeless expanse of sand and dust. After the project, the transformation was dramatic. Patches of green spread across the yellow landscape, connecting into vast areas of vegetation. Sand dunes, once mobile and threatening, became stabilized by plant roots. The air cleared, no more choking dust storms. The silence was replaced by the sounds of insects, birds, and rustling leaves. The soil itself changed, richer in nutrients, better at holding water. What was once sterile sand became living earth, supporting a range of plant life. Wildlife returned, drawn by food and shelter. A new ecosystem emerged, all sparked by the humble rabbit. The greening desert brought economic revival, cash crops like licorice, and even desert tourism. Jobs and hope returned to communities once threatened by sand. The project didn't just halt the desert, it reversed it. The Kabuki became a model for ecological restoration. The desert's story had been rewritten. The rabbit project wasn't perfect, there were challenges and surprises. Rabbits breed fast. Scientists had to control their numbers to prevent overgrazing. Natural predators and management kept the balance, but it was a constant effort. Introducing so many rabbits risked disrupting native plants and animals. Some ecologists worried about lost biodiversity and long-term impacts. The project favored certain crops over original desert flora. Could this model work in other deserts, with different climates and soils? The Kabuki's success was unique. Massive funding, dedicated teams, and specific conditions. The rabbit solution wasn't a one-size-fits-all answer. Still, the project forced new thinking about using nature to heal nature. The story is ongoing, with new methods now building on the rabbit's legacy. The experiment continues. The story of China's desert rabbits is a lesson in working with nature, not against it. Small creatures, following their instincts, achieved what machines could not. The project showed the power of creative, unconventional thinking. It also warned of the risks. Ecosystems are complex and interventions must be managed with care. Success depended on planning, monitoring, and adapting as challenges arose. The rabbits were pioneers, but the real victory was in combining human ingenuity with nature's resilience. The Kabuki Desert's transformation is a beacon of hope. It proves that even the most damaged landscapes can be revived. In a world facing climate change and environmental crises, this story stands out. Desertification isn't inevitable. With courage, creativity, and a little help from nature, we can heal our planet. The rabbit's legacy is a greener, more sustainable future. The adventure continues.